My wife and I took time off the other day to sit on our porch in the suburbs and watch the world go by. We were amazed at once by the sight of a mother duck leading her 10 ducklings in an orderly waddle down to the pond at the bottom of the street. The other end of our block intersects the town's main commuter lane running east and west. To get this far, we'd realized she'd had to negotiate 4 lanes of rush hour traffic, and her baby still couldn't fly. We were marveling at the accomplishment as she led her brood along the curb and over the grate of the gutter opposite our house. 3 of the ducklings, no bigger than your palm, dropped right through the openings into the sewer. Sensing the loss, the mother stopped at once and, sweeping her babies behind her, retraced her steps up the street and back over the grate. In horror, we watched as the remaining 7 ducklings, every last one of them, fell into the sewer too. It took the mother a moment to realize she was alone. In confusion, she looked first one way down the street, then the other, and then by instinct up at the clouds, the home of hawks, in all calamity for a duck. And in a heart-rending shriek, she let out the cry of every mother who's ever seen her babies ripped by the sky or swallowed by the earth. My wife rushed inside to call the Animal Rescue League, and I ran to the garage for an old golf driver to pry off the sewer lid. As the mother squawked in circles around me, I jimmied the club into the cast-iron opening and felt the shaft snap in my hands. In anguish, I looked up at the sky myself and saw 2 men approaching from the apartment across the street. It's the cheapest rental property on the block. The 2 men were strangers to me, in their mid-40s, their eyes red and bleary from a night of hard work or hard drinking. If I'd seen them coming any other time or place, I'd have crossed to the other side of the street. I told them what happened, and a second later, we were on the ground, our 30 fingers wrapped around the grate and pulling hard. As the mother duck circled us, alternately squawking her encouragement and shrieking at the sky, we yanked off the lid and stared into the black, silent hole of the sewer. The taller of the 2 men, at around 6 feet, lowered himself into the hole, bracing himself against the sides. The sewer was about 10 feet deep there, and the ground around him relatively dry. He squatted slowly and felt around in the dark, and then, gingerly, he found and lifted every one of the lost ducklings up to us on the street. As soon as their feet touched the ground, the 10 cheeping babies plugged back into line behind their mother like an extension cord, and without missing a beat, resumed their trip to the pond at the bottom of the street. The 3 of us looked at each other in silence, stunned by our success and sudden bond. I noticed tears forming in the bloodshot eyes of the man who had gone into the hole. "I love animals," he said. That evening, I went back on the porch. The apartment across the street was dark and quiet again. But the incident that morning had left me with a gift, a temporary, heightened sense of awareness that I was eager to experience before it faded away. Like an enhanced sense of touch, it seemed to bring everything closer, opening a new dimension of sights and sounds, hiding in the wrinkles of ordinary things. With it, I could sense that the apartment across the street, though dark, was warm with life, and the sky above me rippled with invisible wings, and the pond at the bottom of the street, already thickening with cold, had a voice, speaking in short sounds and long silences of the vastness of the unknown and of small miracles at the dead end of the street.